All right, so we was kind of right there, Nick, when I was saying about the trauma that creates, right? And would or do you think that things would be different if you grew up in a household that had your mother and your father there all the time?
I definitely think it would be different, but even with that, it's gonna cause some trauma if you're in a household and mom and daddy ain't happy.
No,
or they beefing.
Well, mine was with both of them being happy. You know, like so. If, I'm not saying that mine. I'm saying that my question to you: do you think that it would be different if both of them were in a household and they were happy and you saw something different?
Absolutely, for sure. Because now, like with what I don't want to say what I was given, because I'm sure my mom, she did the best she could. Right. But being a grown woman, it helped me, understand a lot of why she handled certain situations she did, or the type of woman she was. And in certain cases, it made it like, I don't want to be like this, or I don't want to. But it also instilled that I need to have my own money, and that affects my relationship now.
So do because I hear a lot of young ladies preach that you gotta have your own money thing or whatever, and I can respect it, but more than, in my opinion, this is just with all due respect, I think that if you're gonna be involved with relationships, then you should be involved with a person who wants you to be first, who puts you first. Like, okay, so for instance, in my thought process, I think that, and this is about to sound crazy, baby, I don't mean no disrespect, but I think that, and I appreciate it if it operates like this. I think that I put her first, she puts them first, and that's how I need it to be. I need her, put me first when I'm there, when I'm sitting right in front of your face, put me first, right? But you're a caretaker for those children, day in and day out, picking them up from school. I do my occasional pickups and stuff like that. But you really take on that responsibility. So with that being said, I need for you to take care of them. I'm going to take care of you. You take care of them. And I think that a lot of women don't have the person that's going to take care of them. So in their mind, they think that they have to fight this world alone. But if you got to fight the world alone, then there ain't no purpose in being with the person.
That's a fact.
Like if you legitimately, and I don't care whether it's the guy doing it or the guy feeling like he has to fight the world alone, or the young lady feel like she got to fight the world alone. It goes both ways. Whoever feels like they got to fight the world alone, either for one, there's a possibility that they could be being selfish, but then for two, they might want to find somebody who puts them first. And
that goes back into dating. You need to, I feel like it's important on dating, not just finding this one person like, oh, I love you, and getting so serious so soon. I feel like dating is important because oh, okay, I like this about a person, but I don't really like this, so let me try this. And really getting to know who you're with in the ugly stages, before you get too serious.
I think that what happens a lot of times is that people are having sexual intercourse with people and just keeping them because they like the sex. And once they keep them, now you're keeping all the BS that they gonna have to go through.
Yeah.
And they don't have an out, but they like the sex. So now they stuck, then they get pregnant. And now they pregnant, so you pregnant, I might as well keep smashing. And then it just, and then it's like a real live chain reaction, and now you got a family, but you ain't married.
But not only that though, what people fail to realize is that you gotta change. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna change.
People don't want to change.
Yeah. They think it's cool.
They don't want to change, but time will make you change.
It should.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But some people get stuck in their ways.
Some people get stuck in their ways,
and now you just stuck.
But the more crazier thing though is that people want to pick and choose how you should change.
Absolutely.
Right? And they don't want to absorb how they should change also.
But the change should be beneficial to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And not selfishly. Not you don't have to change by yourself because you blah blah blah. It should be changed for the relationship
to make it work.
To make it work, whatever that is. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't be in no relationship.
But do you think that people actually want the relationship to work, or just want the beneficial things from that relationship?
Want the benefit. The majority of the people want the beneficial things from the relationship.
Right.
And that's just being honest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because like you might. Okay, so you might meet a guy. I'm going to use myself for an example. When my wife met me, I was skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not want it. She might, it probably might not even have been in her thought process to say that she want to be with a fat boy. But I'm a fat boy, right? So as things change, I didn't want, and I pray that it doesn't happen, but I don't want her to lose the love that she has for me because I've gained weight, and that might not be my priority to lose weight.
But do you think that, like, I feel like, on the surface, people would think like, oh, she got bigger. That's what, where the people lose interest. But I feel like it's much deeper than that. Like, when you get into having kids, you may see you don't like. I don't like how you parent. I don't like how you.
Nah, absolutely.
We talking about me getting bigger.
But it just leads to other things. Like, okay, I bet you like this, right?
Right.
You got bigger a little bit or whatever. That's just one thing. What other ways?
Take it out of the woman getting bigger.
No, I'm saying we're talking about you. I'm talking about from the perspective that you just brought up.
And let me explain the only reason why I'm doing that, because everybody likes to present to the world that the women are the one who get out of shape.
No,
right?
I'm out of shape right now.
But I want the world to know that the guys get out of shape too.
No, definitely.
And I ain't as comfortable taking off my shirt that I was 15 years ago when I would peel this piece off and just be standing out there with no shirt on at the bike rally. You know what I'm saying? But like nowadays, that ain't what I'm doing.
Right.
I might be in the pool with a t-shirt on right now.
Right. No, but like she was saying, it's deeper than that one thing, because
it should be.
It do be.
It do.
It do be, because, okay, that's just one aspect of it, right? But then what other aspects you change from the initial?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you was on top, or at least across the board in certain areas. Maybe not on top in all aspects of your life, but
I've been on top for quite some time. Hey, listen, I've been on top for quite some time. But listen, I've been to the bottom. And I think that's what we was kind of talking about the other day.
But I think tops vary with people.
So as we get along into the podcast and stuff like that, I'll tell a little bit more about myself. But Trav, you know that I went through a period where I was at the bottom, right? And everybody thought it was over for me. They made jokes and like all types of stuff, right? If I didn't have a solid relationship with my wife, she rolls out. And
that's where I was getting to.
And I've watched women roll out on dudes as soon as they get locked up.
Because that foundation.
Clearing out the house, we going back to Big Mama house. Mm-hmm. And that dude has broke his neck to take care of you. But it's just money. It's just money. And that's why we have to, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I want the world to see that there's men out there that actually do love, and sex, money, and drugs is not their only drive. Yes, we like sex. Yes, we like money. Some people may like drugs. But my drive is to take care of my family, right? So even when I sit here and I do the podcast or whatever the case may be, the real drive, whether the world realizes it or not, is another tool or avenue to take care of my family. And most people don't put their family as a priority as they should. They don't put their children as a priority that they should, because they have a child with a person that they don't deem as likable to them. But I got a white homeboy. His name is Paulie, right? Paulie told me one day, he says, yo, I watch how somebody treats their spouse, right? And then I said, well, you know what I watch? I watch how somebody treats their kids, right? And then he was like, why you watch how you treat their kids? I said, because they made that kid. If you make that child and you don't take care of them through 100%, the best that you can, that says a lot about you, whether people realize it or not. Now, from a woman's perspective, they usually be with the child, right? You know, like, so you have a child, you're usually with the child, right? But you see women who have children that they just willing to ship their kids off. I think that's weird.
That's definitely weird, but even just going back to the relationship aspect, like you said, money, sex, drugs, but breaking it down when it comes to a relationship, it's more than that. Like, are you supportive when I'm sick? Are you there for me if I can't wash my ass? Can you wash my ass for me? Can you, like, if I'm feeling insecure, are you reassuring me of this? Like, it's certain
but
things.
But a lot of times that dudes do be supportive, right? But they're not supportive in the aspect that person receives the support. So it goes back to communication with that person.
Recognizing love languages is important. Like,
that's very true.
If you don't love me in my love language,
what you talking about? It ain't make no sense.
You might be thinking you doing everything right.
Yeah,
right.
You doing because that's how you feel you should treat me.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you don't treat me how I feel you should treat me,
then what you're doing don't make no sense.
But are you communicating that? Are you, like, I know if I'm talking to my husband, if I'm yelling, doing all this, and you ain't hearing nothing I'm saying, so I know in order for me to get a point across to you, I'm gonna have to come level-headed. I'm not gonna be smart and nasty, because now your man pride is fucked up because I'm talking to you crazy.
Whoa. We ain't gonna be dissing people man pride.
I'm just saying, but you know, if I'm yelling at you, you're not hearing, like, I may be talking about something that's not even disrespectful or anything, but if I'm screaming it at you, you're not getting it.
But regardless of man pride, we shouldn't even communicate like that with each other, period.
That's very true, but
I think in my world, as I've grown up, Trav, because I used to argue about everything, right? I think in my world that I shouldn't communicate with nobody like that. So why is that even a form of communication these days? You know, like when women get riled up or whatever, or the guys get riled up, why is that even a form of communication when women don't like to receive it? Why would you give it?
But I think about on timing. Like, if it's fresh on me and you done make me mad or I don't feel disrespected, you're going to get it how I'm feeling in that moment. Now, give me a minute to talk about it when I can be level-headed about it.
So is it all right for you to receive it that way? If something's fresh on his mind,
you better say it the right way.
See, man, you can't be like that.
But vice versa, I'm not going to come and talk to you when it's hot and you know, and when I'm in the moment, I'm not going to talk about it.
Our culture almost tells us to do and be like this, and we just got to break out of these norms.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we have to do better.
I mean, I truly think that what was expressed to us as children from our parents to our grandparents was toxic.
Yeah, a lot of things was toxic.
Yeah, you know, like, and people use the word toxic so much, but I'm saying I don't think that it was beneficial. Let me say it like that. I don't think it was beneficial to my growing process. Mm-hmm. You know, because they cap off a lot of stuff. You know, like they capped off the way that we live. All right, like, do you remember growing up and the way that your hair was so important? Absolutely. You know, like, so me and you always kept low haircuts.
Low haircuts, right? clean cuts.
Right. So now when we see guys, you know, like I use Jay-Z for an example.
They don't like to comb their hair and they, you know.
He got $1 billion, man. He got a real live $1 billion, man. Because and this dude hair is everywhere like this.
Because the world told you in order for you to become in this sector, you need to be clean.
Right.
Clean, you know, clean cut, up and down.
Right. And I mean, you know, like, and
but those barriers are broken now.
I think as we move forward, definitely in this podcast, that we're gonna touch on things like that too. We might have people here that have different views. Like me, like Trav, you knew I worked in an environment where I wore a suit and tie, right? And you knew what happened in that environment. And now I'm over here, and you might catch me every day with a pair of jogging pants on. You know, like you might catch me with my hoodie on and my hat to the back, right? And I used to think, oh man, that's not a good presentation or whatever the case may be. But now, you know what I think? If you can go in places and get the job done, people don't care what you look like no more.
But let's not get that misconstrued though. Because you gotta get the job first. You gotta get in there, and you gotta be good at it. And then you could be who you are.
I mean, what the thing is, and
and I think that's where a lot of people get it messed up because they just see the result, and you don't see the go through.
They don't see the struggle.
You don't see the go through.
So bringing that back to relationships, they might look at my relationship and say like, "Yo, he got a dope relationship with his wife," right? But they don't see the whole 20-something years. Absolutely. They only see the product of it now. When I say, "Oh yeah, look what I just got my wife," or when somebody sees my wife and say she got this, this, and this, y'all got that.
Y'all got that.
Y'all got that. Why can't I have that?
Everybody just look at what's on social media and predict that this is the dopest thing ever over here or whatever.
But without those trials and tribulations, we don't get to me standing at the Mercedes dealership buying nothing.
But people aren't vocal about those trials either. They sweep under the rug.
No, but I don't think they do because it was kind of public. The things that really go on when people be kind of public.
Everybody knows. What I'm saying? People forget though.
Yeah. That just totally gets wiped out your mind when you start thinking about successful couples. Like when people talk about Will and Jada, right? They forget about that. Jada consistently talk about this nigga Tupac all the damn time. I'm pretty sure that was an argument in their household. Like any man is not going.
But you don't know because Will probably accept it.
He accepted that entanglement.
Yeah, you just don't know.
Did he accept it or did he deal with it? We just don't know.
We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, for the public view is that they made it happen. They adjusted their life accordingly, and they still together. Right. I think so many relationships now.
Well, I just saw a post.
Quick to split.
I just saw a post that stated that Will has filed for divorce. I just seen that last night. I don't know whether it was clickbait or what.
It was clickbait.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I don't know what it was, but I almost clicked on it.
He could be very well at his point too, his breaking point.
Yeah.
But you never know because I could accept this day. And you just take advantage of that situation that I accepted this, and you keep pushing me there, pushing me there. Right. Now, come on, how you having me look out here?
Right. You got no better relationship trauma, my nigga.
Relationship trauma don't mean husband and wife. It mean dealing with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go, Trav.
It mean dealing with people.
So in closing for this particular episode or whatever, what does a relationship mean to you?
My number one value with relationships across the board is how much self-discipline you have. Everybody like to go to loyalty and trust or whatever, but if you don't have self-discipline for yourself, how can you have it for what you put and bring it into your relationship?
So what you think a relationship means to you, Nick?
A relationship, it means really a lot to me. My friendships, those things are big. If I let you in and I care about you, because I don't give a damn about the people now. You can be here today, gone tomorrow. But if we can communicate and be equally yoked, that's important to me. What you give, are you
in all
giving
relationships, you're saying?
In all relationships, my friendships, with my business, my mentors, and everybody, I need it to be equally. If I'm feeling drained, I don't.
Well, to me, relationships is pretty much, this is how I view all of them. Just be who you say that you are, right? If it comes out your mouth and you stand on this, then just stand on it. And I'm not saying that you always got to stand on everything that comes out your mouth, but just be a solid individual because everybody makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't have a problem with anybody apologizing. I don't have a problem with, just don't make it a continuous thing because that lets me know that you really didn't care about it, right? So relationships to me is be who you say that you are and allow me to choose.
Absolutely.
If you can be who you say you are and I get to choose, then I'm going to choose what's best for me.
Living your truth.
So with that being said, man, once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I got Nick Lew with me and I got Travis Bailey with me, and this is what we're going to be doing. So with all due respect, we out this bitch.
All due respect. Peace.